Hi Tea Society, welcome back to the Antisocial Pennant, and today we are checking out some more Tower of God Webtoon, and we are in the middle of a rescue mission, okay? My boy Rock has been kidnapped, and I will not rest until we've gotten revenge and him out safely. I think he's got some stuff cooking up, though. I feel like we got a couple of panels where it showed him knocked out, or with his eyes closed at least, and I feel like he's cooking up a plan. Or at least he's aware of everything that's going on. Him, with the original three, Kun and Bomb, they have a weird connection between them, and I support it. But at the moment, we're maybe figuring out some secrets about Kaiser. We're supposed to be fighting probably Elfine, but at the moment we seem to be having a discussion. Interested to see how that all turns out. Starting with my girl Dorsey. Hey girl, hey. You're going through some stuff. I forgot that we're like technically against each other. We'll figure it out. We'll troubleshoot something. Like if she's mad, she's like, this could have been a simple solution. You had to make it complicated. Look, y'all didn't ask them about the plan before you started picking fights and losing names, okay? She's like, just come out and fight me. Who are we gonna be dealing with? I know that they're lurking. Ominous, but okay. I already thought, I was like, I feel like Kaiser's also stuck here. This is a place where the dirty laundry of the families is put, and they just pretend it doesn't exist because nobody gets out. And I feel like Kaiser's probably just part of that. Oh, we could have picked any of the families, and that that one, huh? That's interesting. I'm suddenly more uncomfortable because I remember dealing with them, especially in season 1. The way that like all of the like aquatic creature things just like came out of that little goat looking costume thing just sits in my brain all the time. Like I feel like I've moved on with my life, and then I remember it and I'm just like, huh. Okay, so that's who we're dealing with. So we're a member of that family. It's fine. Interesting that we have direct lines. Like we already had that conversation in the previous few chapters with Ron, right? Like he's part of that direct line, so he is like a different kind of prestige within the family, and then having that brought back again with another character. I think it's interesting bit of world building right through setting up that concept with Ron, and then continuing that now that we're adding that information to Kaiser, like a new character. Oh, I see. Okay, part of me thought that maybe she would be because she seems really powerful, and I'm like, that feels like princess territory, but I didn't know for sure. Especially with the whole like Dorsey thing, it just feels like there was some overlap. Just tiny and shocked about everything that's happening. They know like a little bit. They've encountered some of them. Being able to also command humans makes me uncomfy. We already had some of the animal stuff previously. Oh, okay. You can't throw 20 other branches within a single family to me. Grey Wolf, cool. I can remember that. I thought maybe it'd have something to do with green though, given the costume choice. Unless we're like incognito. I like the setup, and then it's me like they don't really have anything special about that. Ouch. Okay, so like they didn't have power, and then she was. They're also not part of the direct line, so it makes sense that they wouldn't have as specialized abilities as some of the other ones. Oh, you were there. That explains why you're still part of the like right hand person in this instance. Interesting to have a wolf though. The image. I know it's related to the branch of the family, but I think it's also interesting for like her specifically, like for the characterization of her. That incident. I knew there had to be some incident. Something happened. Like I said before, you don't retire from being a princess of Jihad. Is that a shark? Not to be distracted. Oh, she was summoned, even though she needed to be there. Suspicious. That boy. Unfortunate. Should have gone lone wolf. Oh yeah, we have the whole like we already have established the whole you can't fall in love thing because we had Anna. Kun's unmoved. So he does know what it means to care about somebody and then feel betrayed and all that. We got some backstory with him, so like, interesting to say her eyes and we don't have anything, but okay. Was it though? Why was she there? Why was she summoned? If it was just like an unfortunate coincidence. I'm suspicious of everything. I trust nothing and no one except Rock. Ooh, she made the wrong choice. Strong language. Of course it was a trap. Like I said, I'm like, why was she summoned? She didn't need to be there. Yep. Like I said, I was like, was it just a coincidence? Just unfortunate circumstances that she shows up and she immediately falls for this person? No, I don't buy it. I'm also cynical. The whole thing, even the boy was like playing along. That I was thinking that. I was like, it seems a little convenient. You just have two people fall in love, meet each other. Never choose a man over your career. I don't know. Like, I also wonder, was it like just a test to see if she could be a princess, or was it like a putting her in her place kind of thing? Because again, she's an extremely talented and powerful person who is not part of the direct lines, who does qualify to be a princess of Jihad. I feel like there's probably a lot of people who'd be like, wouldn't it be great if she proved that she wasn't worthy of that role from this little like nothing branch of the family? Again, I'm suspicious of everything. Did they all get imprisoned? Are they all here? That'd be crazy. Special labor punishment. Interesting wording. Oh, look who it is. Look who showed up right when things get chaotic. Not that I'm bitter, but like, so she just had to travel up like all the tower to get here. and now she's just stuck. It makes sense though. We're talking about there's like the 20 branches of this family that she's from to then have these like different branches again in the way that the system works here, right? Where you have the different like bosses or whatever. Yes, the suspiciously pyramid-shaped scheme here. Ah, okay, so we're working up on a debt. That's what we're doing. It just seems weird that we immediately jump to a slavery thing. I don't think we have the blood going on, though. Loyalty, though, to climb the tower and get all the way here probably hasn't decreased, has it? What, interest? Or just an obscene amount of money that we have to raise? Oh, that too. They're just enjoying a bunch of wealth and not paying off the debt because it makes them a bunch of money. Like, why get rid of something that's going to be making you a bunch of profit? Yeah, I was like, you're not going to get rid of your income where you don't have to do anything and then you get like vast amounts of wealth. Interesting too, if we're talking about the treatment of people within the station being very like akin to slaves, and then you also have the family, Grey Wolf, part of the family, also being like, we can just have her continue to work and then we make a bunch of money. It's like an interesting parallel there as well. Dang. I think maybe you need a different family. Have you considered found family? It's quite nice. Do we know a way? In the shadows again. That was part of the name, right? Think fast. Meet you all to hell, dang. Would you like to be the orange of her dress and then the fox? Yes, who are we fighting? You weren't hiding very well. So you are also right. We've got some other people here. The immediate confrontation from Endorsey. Interesting. Yeah, it's a complicated thing. Oh, oops. Speaking of complications. Oh, I lost my name and also may or may not be friends with someone who is a Slayer candidate. Oops. Yeah, I was like, I don't know if you want to answer that question. Oh, we fighting now? We're having two princesses that are gonna fight? This just seems like it's gonna cause a lot of property damage. Dang, the way that we're just like fighting immediately. Do we also have high heels on? Because we already had that whole story with Endorsey about the heels. So I think that's an interesting thing to like continuously show the difference between the two of them, right? That we have this person who is clearly still on the side of Princesses of Jihad and everything, and like being in line with what the families want, still wearing the heels, and then having Endorsey who's like wearing these running shoes instead, right? So I think it's interesting to have that comparison between the two. You seem a little bit crazed with the glowing eyes. It technically would be a good way of getting in the good graces again, but is that what she wants? Speaking of found family, Endorsey's already had a moment where she's just, oh, people can be nice to each other. Wild. I also love that she's, I'm gonna force you to do what I want, but she's talking to Bomb, and then like when someone else is, you should use him, she's like, how dare you? Oh, are we gonna try and kill him then? Is that our decision? Is that why we're here? You seem like you really need to prove something. Oh, you're part of the family too. Okay, that's fine. So are you gonna have some kind of animal manipulation thing as well? We got the fox with Alphine. No, this is like, we got personal now. Y'all picked a fight with the wrong person. Like, I feel like if you were gonna do anything to get on Dorsey's nerves, saying, oh, I'm gonna try and kill Bomb, she's like, hell you are. All right, we're picking back up with this. We got, what, we're gonna figure out a way to free Kaiser? Have we talked to her and asked if that's what she wants? Yes. Isn't it? I'm assuming yes. That's fine. Sure, immune to attacks. I'm sure that will be whatever. Oh, if it's devouring Shinsu as well, maybe we keep it away from Bomb just because there's a lot there. Maybe we have a plan. You don't know. You haven't let us think of what yet. Give us a second. Oof. Again, difference in the shoes. I like it. I like the symbolism that continues through. I feel like you're really pulling on this whole like we're family thing to then be like actively getting in the way. Nice. I like that we're just going for the punch. It's complicated. That's what they are. Okay? The point is off limits. I like the sass too of what are we even doing? Good question. What do you, if you're here to fight and kill Violet, why are you bothering to have this whole long speech about what you're gonna do with Endorsey? Yes, the sister. I don't know, you're going up against Hots. It's gonna be like a little bit more difficult than you might think. Why are we focused on the relationship thing? It's weird. We've already established, never sacrifice anything in your life for a man, okay? Look where that got Kaiser. Have better goals. Ooh, you look a little demonic there though. Though, okay, no, interesting voice. For me being maybe we focus on something else. Considering the punishment that can come from any Princess of Jihad having a relationship, I can understand why it'd be like, oh, we want to know what this relationship could be, because that would be a really easy way to be like, you're an enemy, right? Like, you should not have the title of a Princess of Jihad because you're breaking the rules, right? Which is something that we've seen over again. I love thank you. At least she owns it. We seem surprisingly cool about this. Like, this is probably our first time meeting. Don't believe it. Be suspicious. Good. Put the pieces together. I like that I learned sword fighting as a hobby when I was little. Sure, okay. Can we fight? Sure. Respectfully. Obviously. With our lives on the line. I like, oh, it's just like, are all of you weird? Are any of you normal? We've yet to meet any. Your eyes are blank. So that is a little bit alarming. Are we sword fighting after we're like, I didn't have much talent for it. And we're just like, I'm gonna fight. Also, I love the matchup of like her fighting on this one side of the panel and then having the fox on that side of the panel too. Good transition. I don't see why she wouldn't. Yeah, I'm like, you've been defeated. You don't have your name anymore, so you don't count. I can't let you live now that he's, but I didn't ask. You told me. We're a little bit desperate. It's fine. I think they're both just not gonna happen. Ooh, so we can cause damage? Oh, maybe not. It is a shadow. I feel like attacking it is not gonna have a great impact. Oh, hello. That's a lot. Is it like eating the Shinsu? He was already shrinking. We probably shouldn't be attacking the fox because the fox is his shadow. We should be fighting Alphine, right? Oh. Yeah, I feel like run might not work if it's attached to your shadow. The fact that she like disappeared though, she's, do you have a plan? And now she's, I'm just gonna kill you, bye. What if we have a plan? You haven't given them a chance. Yeah, I feel like escape is probably not gonna be an option. Yes, what's the plan? What's the plan? Ooh, that would be a good tactic because if it feeds off of Shinsu, and then if there isn't anything for it to feed on, would it like shrink or disappear? Ah, also possible. If it's made by the workshop, then that would also be like in line with it being the tag itself. That's what I was saying. I'm like, I feel like we get rid of the Shinsu, fox would disappear. Yeah, I was gonna say, also, but also we also need the Shinsu. The Shinsu is also important to like the basic ecosystem of how the tower works. Sure, it's a decision. I feel like everything running the same way when that includes slavery is like a lot. I love them like showing up, ran here, and then looked super cool with our pose when we said our like one-liner. Oh, little fox. We figured out what was going on with the room, and then we're like, let's just make our own, and then we'll put the little fox in it. The little graphic to be like, it was over here, and then we put it over here. Cute. I love it's just like, we just had a little treat for the fox. We just lured it over here. Yes, there was a chance of death, but you did it anyway. And now we have a new trick. We do have a whole army now. I forget that we've got so many people who are like working for us now. It's a little face of, anyway, we'll have to keep thinking about that plan. Everything seems okay now. The shock of, what's the plan now? Interesting bit of world building, bringing in the, Lopobia? I don't know. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that name correctly, but a family that we've definitely been introduced to in previous chapters and bringing them back now, especially since I was saying before, I remember all of the aquatic creatures coming out and like the nightmare fuel. That was that back in season 1, and learning about how this is like a whole family that can control different kinds of animals, and that means that there's like these different like branches in it, and how that kind of all relates together, which makes me think that like maybe we're going to be dealing with some of that with Kaiser as well. We haven't gotten to see any of her like fighting ability, right? Everything has happened off screen. I find it interesting that might be something that comes up, especially since she has the mask, and we also had this kind of like mask, again, the goat outfit thing before with this family. So it's interesting to again have some of that kind of paralleled going forward. But I think it's really interesting to have her story of wanting to become a princess of jihad, and I had my suspicions about that being possibly the case. Like, why would you have this person who's like clearly super skilled and strong and is now locked away? And I assume that there was some kind of like rule that was broken or something that happened along the way. And we've already had like Anak's mom, right, where it was like a similar thing of wanting to get out of being a princess of jihad and having a child, which is breaking the rules and everything. So I think it's really interesting to have some of those parallels coming again of like people wanting to find connection, even like Dorsey, right? Like a big part of why she's deviating away from being a princess of jihad in a lot of ways and getting into some difficult territory in terms of what is like allowed is because she's found people who like she cares about and who care about her. And yes, of course, there's some back and forth about whether or not there's like anything like going on between her and Bom's not interested, clearly, in my eyes. And I feel like for her, a lot of it's like playing off of it, right? Like she's not sure what to do with people who don't admire her. So I think it's interesting that she also has a similar kind of thing, though, that's like motivating her of having this group of people who legitimately care about her and is like this found family, right? And that's why she's also deviating. It's like wanting to find this connection, wanting to have people who like care about you, and had that transposed with this idea of like families, right? It's like the 10 families, but they're not like necessarily that, or like the princesses calling each other sister, all of these terms that are used to be like family and supposed to be like associated with people that you care about. And yet there isn't any of that there, right? Like it isn't the same thing. So I think it's really interesting to have that in parallel to the kind of like transgressions or like breaking the rules of some of these princesses is in line with this pattern of wanting to find connection, wanting to find people who care about them, actually having family, right? In the way that we think about it, right? Of like having loved ones. So I think it's interesting like motif to continue forward, especially for Bom being our main character. And one of his like big fears is being alone, being isolated. So he also is drawn to these people that he cares about and wanting to protect them and take care of them and to have people around him that can support him and that he can support in return. So I think it's like this ongoing motif throughout the whole series of you have all these structures and all these people and these like families and names and things that are like on paper make it like this person isn't alone, but in reality it's like being alone in a crowded room. So I think it's interesting to have so much of that throughout these couple of chapters, along with a bunch of like world building and stuff going forward. But it looks like maybe we're gonna have possibly an alliance of some kind with Kaiser, maybe. And Dorsey seems to be like, I'm gonna beat up everybody who threatens Bomb, which is like a constant for her. So we'll see what happens going forward. But I hope you enjoyed reading that along with me. You can click this playlist to go into my previous reactions, or you can subscribe to me next time I post a Tower of God reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.